Hi everybody. Today we're going to do an angle proof. And if we look at this angle that we've been given, angle CBA, it's broken up into pieces. We've got angle CBA, we've got angle 1, we have angle 2, and we have angle 3. And we also have angle CBD, as well as angle EBA. We have a lot of angles in that diagram. So one big angle has been cut into pieces. We know when we have either segments or angles that's been cut into pieces or parts, it's often either a GRAPS or GRAPS proof. Let's take a look at what we have been given. We've been given that the measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 3, and it's been marked as such right here. We want to prove that the measure of angle EBA is equal to the measure of angle DBC. So let's mark that in some way. Use white. So we want EBA congruent to, let's use another color. We'll do pink. DBC. DBC. So we have a lot of colors here, but we want DBC to EBA. Okay, we want those. Notice we have the small angle and we want to go big. We have the small angle and we need to go big. When we need to go larger, we have to add on. You have to take angle 3 and add angle 2 to create EBA. We have angle 1. We need to add angle 2 to create angle CBD. Both of them need to add on angle 2. That's going to be GRAPS, A for addition. Let's set ourselves up over here. We know we're going to have given, reflexive, addition, partition, which needs a little extra room, and then substitution. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down here, 5. I'm going to let you get the proof set up and write in your given. I'm going to pause the video and then I'll come back. Hopefully you've got the given in there. The next step we have is reflexive. Reflexive is for the piece that they share, which is angle 2. Reflexive is when an angle is equal to itself. I'm going to pause again and have you do the reflexive with angle 2. How did you do? Hopefully you wrote that the measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle 2 by reflexive, because angle 2 is the angle that they share. Step 3, addition. With addition property, we add straight down on the left side and the right side. So that will look like this, that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle 2 plus, or let's do it in order, measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 2. Measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 2. So we literally went straight down. Measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 2. And that's the addition property. I'm going to abbreviate right there. What do we have next? We have partition postulate. That's where we take, in this case, a whole angle equals the sum of its parts. The whole angle, those would be the entire angles of CBD, talking about the fact that it's made of angle 1 plus angle 2, and angle EBA, talking about the fact that it's made of angle 2 plus angle 3. You could use letters if you wanted, but since these are labeled as 1, 2, 3, it's probably easier just to do that. Let's talk about angle CBD first. Or, you know what, let's do EBA first, and here's why. Because EBA comes first up there, so I'm just going to be a little bit clever. Measure of angle EBA is equal to the measure of, EBA is made of angle 2 plus angle 3. Measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3. The other angle we need is DBC. Let's take a look. So DBC is made of angle 2 plus angle 1, or 1 plus 2, it doesn't really matter. equals measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2. Our last step is for substitution. Now, well, let's first label this before we forget. That's the partition postulate. Not much room. Now for substitution. This is where kids sometimes have a difficult time. What are we substituting and where? Well, with substitution, you take the last step that we just did, and then you look above and see if you can notice anything that looks the same. Well, I see these, and I notice them again over here. Measure of angle 2 plus 3 is here. Measure of angle 1 plus 2 is here. Another name for 1 plus 2 is measure of angle DBC. So I'm going to replace this with its other name. Measure of angle DBC equals, and then I'm going to take measure angle 3 plus 2 and call it by its other name, which is EBA. Measure of angle EBA. Now, taking a look at the proof, it says EBA equals DBC. So technically, we would really need one more step. But let me finish 5. That was substitution. Property. I'm really running out of room. If we want to answer it in exactly the form they wanted it, we would technically need to switch sides. So, like saying 2 times 4 equals 8, and 8 equals 2 times 4, just reversing the sides. I'm allowed to do that. I can say measure of angle EBA equals the measure of angle DBC. It sounds silly, but it's giving the answer in exactly the way they wanted, and that's the symmetric property. For those of you that wondered, when do we ever use the symmetric property? And once in a while it comes in handy. Well, I hope that helped. You can certainly do this proof over again for practice. From start to finish, write it on another piece of paper. You can watch the video over again, and I will see you all in class.